Good morning. It was lovely to see so many of you on our Zoom rehearsal last week. I very much hope that some of you are able to join us when we next meet a week hence. And today gives us a chance to explore two new pieces, as well as just to reinforce a little bit of what we did last week. May I invite you to stand? Let's start with a stretch. Bring your arms down slowly. Collapse down with a heavy head and heavy arms. And uncurl. Slowly, slowly, slowly. Let your head be the last thing up. Stretch tall. Bring your arms down. Just have a little shake, loosen those shoulders, make sure you're really balanced on the balls of your feet. Please now just breathe in very gently through your nose and just blow out to a really controlled out breath. And same again. Imagine that candle flame that we sometimes talked about, where you're going to make the candle flame move in terms of the intensity of your sound, but also it's not going to wiggle about all over the place. It's just going to be very constant. Again, in through the nose, out through the mouth. And I'm going to give you an E flat major chord. And I just want you to go through the following vowel sequence. No bumps at all in the sound. R, E, or U. And again, 3 and together. Up the semitone, very gentle, relaxed. Just check that everything is remaining really, really relaxed and open. Let's go back down a tone from where we just reached. As you're singing this time, just sort of massage your face. Just make sure there's no tension here. No locking of the jaw. 3 and 4. Fabulous. I'm going to go back to the... Actually, it's not the chord we started with, but closely related. There's B flat major. And I just want you now to sing Z and ZA to the following pattern. It's all notes from the one chord and a major chord today. Jesus, Jesus, Jesus. I'll do it one more time. Jesus, 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 and Jesus, 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 2 more steps. Jesus, 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 Jesus. I'm going to now give you a D minor chord. Just notice that difference of tonality as we go to the minor. Hum any note from that chord. Another note from the chord. Another note from the chord. Slide down into your booze. Back to your note of choice. And siren on up. Back to our chord. We start with one of my favourite folk songs. Again, this is an arrangement by Philip Lawson from a beautiful collection that he's put together, and it's published by Shot. I highly recommend it, a lovely collection of tunes. And we're going to start with Scarborough Fair. Of course, so many different versions of this. And Philip Lawson makes his own mark on the melody here in a wonderfully simple way. I sense I won't need to teach you it all, but I will at least introduce you to the principles of his arrangement before we then sing it through. So, the main melody. As with many folk songs like this, there can be different approaches to rhythm, but nothing too zany for your reassurance. My turn, your turn. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Your turn. And at this point I should say that I'm just vamping the harmonies, and I'll put Philip Lawson's harmonies in when we sing it through later. And then of course, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. Your turn. And parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme. My turn. Remember me to one who lives there. Your turn. Remember me to one who lives there. My turn. For she once was a true love of mine. Your turn. For she once was a true love of mine. She once was, I think other versions, she once was in this version. And then we sometimes get slightly different scanning of the words. Verse 2, tell her to make me a cambric shirt. I'm going to be really faithful to Philip's arrangement here. Not quite as I did then. I shall do it one more time. Tell her to make me her cambric shirt. So make is a little bit longer. And a 1, 2. Tell her to make me her cambric shirt. Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, you know that, without any seam or needlework. My turn. Without any seam or needlework. Your turn. Without any seam or needlework. She once was, etc., etc. I think all of the other verses are going to work very beautifully. There are many verses. 7 in total, 8 in total, dare I say. Now, one thing it's worth just saying is that in the middle of each of the verses, there's a little moment where you just need to pause. So if I sing you verse 5 now through, you'll hear where there's a bit of a gap where you just need to wait. Here's verse 5 sung by me. Will you find me an acre of land? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, between the sea foam and the sea sand. Then you'll be a true love of mine. With that little bit of waiting just before the then. So, Scarborough Fair, beautiful, simple melody, modal melody. This arrangement by Philip Lawson. I'll sing with you some of the times, other times I shall leave you to it. Please don't stress about the scanning of the words. Folk music, you can very much make it your own. Here's your introduction. 1. Are you going to Scarborough Fair? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, remember me to one who lives there, for she once was a true love of mine. Tell her to make me a cambric shirt, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, without any seam or needlework, for she once was a true love of mine. Tell her to wash it on yonder dry well, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, where water sprung nor a drop of rain fell, for she once was a true love of mine. Tell her to dry it on yonder dry thorn, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, which never bore blossom since Adam was born, for she once was a true love of mine. Will you find me an acre of land? Parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, between the sea foam and the sea sand. Then you'll be a true love of mine. Will you plough it with a lamb's horn on your own? With a sickle of leather, parsley, sage, rosemary and thyme, and tie it all up with a peacock's feather. Then you'll be a true love of mine. When you're done sure some of those verses may be less well known to you, but just so glorious. Really splendid stuff. Now, in our Zoom rehearsal last week, we looked at the nearness of you, and I made reference to the fact that I sort of got to know the song through Nora Jones's cover of it. Many of you will know it through Ella Fitzgerald and Louis Armstrong's version. And I shared the lovely anecdote when I was talking about Louis Armstrong with my 5-year-old. And he said, "Daddy, is that the man who went to the moon?" So I sort of credit him with one part of that being correct, but it amused me greatly. So, the nearness of you. People who've approached this song have approached it in so many ways, and with popular style, they're very, very free in their delivery of the rhythms, and that's all very much sort of part and parcel of it. What we're going to do today is very much a sort of revision of what we did last week, and it's looking at the sort of the starting point from Hoagie Carmichael, who's the songwriter behind it. Not his words, the words are Ned Washington. Anyway, before we get to the chorus, here's the verse, which is not so well known. A little reminder. Why do I just wither and forget all resistance when you and your magic pass by? Keep listening. My heart's in a dither when you're at a distance, but when you are near, it certainly wears its heart on a sleeve, doesn't it, texturally? My turn, then your turn. Why do I just wither and forget all resistance? 3 and 4. Why do I just wither and forget all resistance? My turn. When you and your magic pass by. Your turn. When you and your magic pass by. My turn. My heart's in a dither, dear, when you're at a distance. 3, 4. My heart's in a dither, dear, when you're at a distance. A really wide range to that phrase, and there's a bit of word painting there, isn't there, with distance. You're at a distance. That rising perfect fifth. Let's go back to my heart's in a dither, dear. And 3 and 4. My heart's in a dither, dear, when you're at a distance. My turn, but when you are near, oh my. Your turn, but when you are near, oh my. Let's go back to the beginning of the verse again. I'll give you a little bit more to remember. Why do I just wither and forget all resistance when you and your magic pass by? Your turn. Why do I just wither and forget all resistance when you and your magic pass by? My turn. My heart's in a dither, dear, when you're at a distance, but when you are near, oh my heart's in a dither. My heart's in a dither, dear, when you're at a distance, but when you are near, oh. And then we get our refrain, which will be much more familiar. My turn, your turn. It's not the pale moon that excites me. Your turn. My turn. That thrills and delights me. Your turn. That thrills and delights me. My turn. Oh no. It's just the nearness of you. Oh no, 1, 2, 3. Oh no, it's just the nearness just the nearness because of that long note. And then, like so many songs, the melodic shape of that first line is repeated. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Your turn. My turn. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. Your turn. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. And then our middle line. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me. Some lovely bits there. Let me take you from when you're in my arms. That's just a scale. When you're in my arms. Your turn. 1, 2. When you're in my arms. My turn. And I feel you so close to me. Your turn. And I feel you so close to me. If you don't know the song well, that line is a bit of a surprise. Let's do that again. And I feel you so close to me. And 1. And I feel you so close to me. My turn. All my wildest dreams come true. Your turn. All my wildest dreams come true. Let's go back to when you're in your arms. Let's put that little sequence together. When you're 1, 2. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me. All my wildest dreams come true. And then we've got the first musical line of the refrain returning, as is so common. I need no soft lights to enchant me, if you'll only grant me the right. And we'll stop at that point. Right. I need no soft lights. So 1, 2, 3. I need no soft. So tight. Your turn. To hold you ever so tight. That's kind of the shape we had at the beginning. Harmonically, Hoagie Carmichael does something slightly different this time. To hold you ever so. The first time round it went to this chord. You. This time to this chord. We call a diminished chord, lots of minor thirds. You know, it's this sort of archetypal, that sort of chord, and it just has a bit of suspense and mystery about it. To hold you ever so tight. Your turn. To hold you ever so tight. It can't end at that point, can it? So it has to go on, and go on with this. It does. And to feel in the night the nearness of you. Your turn. And to feel in the night the nearness of you. And then we go back to the refrain again at the very end of the song. If you're feeling really keen sopranos, tenors, you could sing this line. And to feel in the night the nearness of you. Which works beautifully. And actually, when we're in harmony as a choir, we can do a nice harmony there together as well. So the nearness of you, we have our verse. It's preceded by a 4-bar introduction. And then we have the refrain we've just been learning. And then we do the refrain once again. So back to It's Not the Pale Moon. I will leave you to your own devices on the second time round and be a little bit more free with the accompaniment. And why not try and be a little bit more free with the way you approach your rhythms as well. Unlock your inner Ella or Nora or Louis, whatever takes your fancy. The nearness of you. Why do I just wither and forget all resistance when you and your magic pass by? My heart's in a dither when you're at a distance, but when you are near, oh, it's not the pale moon that excites me, that thrills and delights me. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. It isn't your sweet conversation that brings this sensation. Oh no, it's just the nearness of you. When you're in my arms and I feel you so close to me, all my wildest dreams come true. I need no soft lights to enchant me, if you'll only grant me the right to hold you ever so tight, and to feel in the night the nearness of you. It's not the What a gem of a song, and it's always a revelation sometimes to go back to the source, if you like, of such a song. We started with a beautiful folk song, and we're going to close with a beautiful folk song as well. I'm just going to take you through the one verse of this for today. to introduce it to you, and we shall do some more next time we meet. The Turtle Dove, a really, really beautiful melody. I'm going to play you the melody first of all. It's actually quite a disjointed musical line, but there's something about it. There's a magical element to this that just does it for me. I would love to be inventive with this, and I've got a couple of ideas which I may unleash on you at some point. Anyway, my turn, your turn. Fare you well, my dear, I must be gone. 1, 2, 3. Fare you well, my dear, I must be gone. My turn. And leave you for a while. Your turn. And leave you for a while. My turn. If I roam away, I'll come back again. Your turn. So the 2 notes on out of a way. If I roam, my turn again. If I roam away, I'll come back again. Your turn. My turn. Though I roam 10,000 miles, my dear. Your turn. Though I roam 10,000 miles. Let's give you slightly more to remember at a time this time. Fare you well, my dear, I must be gone, and leave you for a while. Your turn. Turn. If I roam away, I'll come back again. Though I roam 10,000 miles, my dear. 2, 3. Though I roam 10,000 miles. Your turn. I suggest at this point, if you are new to the melody, and if you are, what a treat, hopefully, to be encountering it for the first time, do just rewind and reinforce that through. I'm going to leave the actual arrangement of this till our next rehearsal. Sometimes a melody as beautiful as this, for me, is just as beautiful as a single line, if not more so, with its simplicity as when it's got an arrangement. So for today, because I'm feeling very mellow, we're just going to sing that simple little line. So I will sort of pitch match for you. Let's sing it through twice. The second time round, let's have a gradual diminuendo through the phrase, going out on that mellow note. Here's our starting note. Fare you well, my dear, I must be gone, and leave you for a while. If I roam away, I'll come back again, though I roam 10,000 miles, my dear, though I roam 10,000 miles. Fare you well, my dear, I must be gone, and leave you for a while. If I roam away, I'll come back again, though I roam 10,000 miles, my dear, though I roam 10,000 miles. Thank you for joining us for our rehearsal once again. I look forward to seeing you at our next rehearsal. Bye-bye.